Was Hitler a Zionist? According to former London Mayor Ken Livingstone, he was definitely a Zionist. Hi, I'm Ron Cantor with Tiferet Yeshua Congregation right here in Tel Aviv. Stick around till the end so I can send you my free ebook. The leftist Labor Party member, who has a long history of anti-Israel activity, said this: "Let's remember when Hitler won his election in 1932, his policy then was that Jews should be moved to Israel. He was supporting Zionism. This before he went mad and ended up killing 6 million Jews." When Mr. Livingstone realized that he just claimed that Hitler went mad, meaning he was a normal bloke when elected — by the way, he was not elected, but that's another story — he backtracked on his comments, but still doubled down on his claim that Hitler was a Zionist. Quote, "He was a monster from start to finish, but it's simply the historical fact his policy was originally to send all of Germany's Jews to Israel, and there were private meetings between the Zionist movement and Hitler's government." The next day, after he came under intense attack for his absurd comments, he seemed to backtrack, claiming, "I've not said that Hitler was a Zionist. What I said is that his policy in 1932 was to deport Germany's Jews to Israel." Actually, Kenny, you did kind of say it. And I'm going to quote you now. You said he, meaning Hitler, supported Zionism. Supporters of Zionism are actually called Zionist. But was he? It is true that Hitler made conditions so bad for the Jews that even before the Holocaust, 60% of Germany's 300,000 Jews had fled by 1939. Some of the Jews, 50,000 or 1 in 6, made their way to British-controlled Palestine, as Israel was not yet a nation. British historian and author Roger Moorhouse was quick to set the record straight. He said, indeed, there was a scheme in place called the Ha'avara, or Transfer Agreement, made in 1933 between the new Nazi government and Zionist German Jews to facilitate immigration to Palestine. But to be clear, this had nothing to do with Hitler wanting to see a Jewish homeland created. It was about getting the Jews out of Germany. And the Zionists who met with him were not colluding, but terrified at what would happen if the Jews didn't get out of Germany. You can't be a Zionist and an anti-Semite at the same time. A Zionist is one who believes that the only safe plan for the continuing existence of the Jewish people is their own homeland in their historic birthplace, the land of Israel. A Christian Zionist is one who believes in the promises of God to Israel regarding the Jews returning to Zion. Hitler hated Jews. Hitler was in favor of killing every Jew. Hitler was not a Zionist, but in fact he was an anti-Zionist. He was not weeping over Ezekiel 37, praying for the dry bones to come back to life as he was enjoying his morning Wiener Schnitzel. But none of this is the issue here, friends. Anybody with half a brain knows that Hitler was no Zionist. The goal of these leftist elites, like Ken Livingstone, is to connect the word Hitler with Zionism. If you can somehow justify the ridiculous claim that Hitler was a Zionist, then you can make the equally ridiculous claim that so many on the far left love to make, and that is this: Zionism is actually Nazism. If you are a Zionist, you're really just a Nazi in disguise. Make no mistake, that is their goal: to equate Jews fulfilling the call of God by settling the land to which God promised to return them with bloodthirsty, demon-possessed Nazi killers. But God is not at all intimidated by their unequal weights and measures. When the rulers band together against the Lord and against his anointed, the one enthroned in heaven laughs. The Lord scoffs at them, he rebukes them in his anger, and terrifies them in his wrath, saying, "I have installed my king on Zion, my holy hill." I hope this video has been a blessing to you. To get my free ebook, The 15 Most Important Facts About the Israeli-Palestinian Conflict, just go to roncan.net/15facts and make sure that the F is capitalized. This video has been brought to you by our congregation, Tiferet Yeshua, right here in Tel Aviv. For more information, please go to reachtelaviv.org, and while you're there, consider making a generous donation so we can continue to share the good news of Yeshua right here in Tel Aviv and bring you more of these weekly videos. Shalom from Tel Aviv, and don't forget to subscribe.